Women of Reddit, what thing do male coworkers do that is not quite sexual harassment, but you wish they would stop doing it so you can be comfortable at work? We just wanted to emphasize the importance of reporting harassment and abuse to your workplace's HR department. As things progress or digress, it's always helpful have that paper trail and documentation right from the start, especially when and if it goes the route of legal action. Oddly specific, my boss will sit in front of me, down on one knee when trying to get a point across. 99% of the time I am sitting my own chair and wearing a dress. I have a blanket at my desk that I grab when I see him getting in position. Now he thinks I'm always sick cold and asks if I need to be warmed up. Wear a prosthetic penis next time. I made one offhand comment about the fact that I snack all day at work and this guy took it upon himself to police my eating habits. I took him aside and explained that I had lost almost 100 pounds, and I really don't appreciate comments about my food or my weight. He avoids me now. Congrats on losing 100 pounds, that's amazing. Kinda off topic, but does anyone else think the work wife or work husband thing is super fricked up? Yes, especially because coworkers would use that phrase when they're trying to butter me up to do their work for them. I got to refusing them anytime I heard that phrase, and I told them why too. They're not nice to me at all anymore, so I guess we got work divorced. I'm very short and petite. In no circumstance is it ever funny or cute to pick me up. I hate it. It makes me feel like a child and it's humiliating. I have a male co-worker who gets overly aggro with women and brags about really manly stuff that he expects to offend them. He talks about hunting and killing fluffy animals, how tough he is on his 1-year-old son. Just chill out, dude. That sounds like he's just trying to reinforce a women must not like me because I'm too masculine complex, giving himself an excuse. Fellas, who else is ready to make sure they're not a piece of crap? I was at first, because it may not have occurred to me that something I do or say was causing discomfort, and this seemed like a good way to learn. But then all the comments seemed to be about obvious straight up harassment, so now it's reading for shock value. There's a guy at my work, whenever he does the tea round, so multiple times a day, he'll come up behind my chair and shake the absolute crap out of it, even if he can see I'm midway through an important phone conversation. He seems to think it's hilarious. I've never seen him do it to anyone else, and although it's a small thing it fills me with rage bubbles. The second grade chair shake. That'll show her you like her. Please stop commenting when I eat a banana for lunch. Don't put your arm around my back and pretend it's a friendly thing, and then start stroking my hair and waist. Hands on the waist hips, makes me super uncomfortable. I don't like it. Came up behind me and gave me a shoulder massage, then kissed the top of my head. What? That is straight up sexual harassment. Poking me. In high school I had a guy who did it so much I went the long way places just to avoid him. He beeline toward me in the hall one day and I completely snapped at him. I've had 2 more pokers since then and it always makes me frickin' cringe with disgust. When in a narrow area I've noticed that some guys will put their hand or hands on my waist or hips whilst maneuvering past. Arm-shoulder area is fine, but my body freezes up and makes me so uncomfortable when I get random hands on my torso. Where's my hug at? I feel like every girl knows the where's my hug guy. Stop freaking telling me to smile. I hate when I am in the middle of freaking concentrating on something and some guy walks by and says some bulls like don't look so sad, smile, or where is my smile, or some other bulls. It breaks my concentration on whatever I was doing and it's annoying as frick. Nobody sits around with a smile on their face 24/7. People make all sorts of weird faces when they are concentrating. I have never once seen one dude tell another dude to smile when he is concentrating. Please stop interrupting a work to police my facial expressions. I work in different classes in an elementary school. An older sub that I have worked with on occasion feels the need to step in whenever I reprimand children and shout at them to be respectful. Today he did this and then touched my shoulder back. It was, in his head, Harmless, I'm sure. He's old school and just doesn't get why any of that behavior is inappropriate, but it totally creeped me out. Another sub told me he was going to cancel our small group time and have me read to the class because he likes listening to me talk. So weird and creepy. I, as a young teen in the first part of high school, would often have the same old but lady as a substitute in different classes all the time who would like to get really close to male students like myself and put her hands on people's shoulders or grab their hands when she talked. She also whispered with stank breath when she gave these individual talks with students. Use of pet names. If I had $1 for every time I got called dear, sweetheart, cupcake, honey, babe, etc., I'd never work again. I remember one time I flipped it and called one of my male coworkers a pet name of similar sorts, and he freaked out on me. He told me how it was unprofessional and made him uncomfortable. It was okay if I wanted to hit on him, but not during work hours. All I could do was roll my eyes and walk away. Had a guy ask me if I was on my period because he could smell something unpleasant in our vicinity. Turns out there was a trash can that hadn't been emptied in a while under the table we were working at. I thought it was quite rude. He had told me before that he didn't shower often, but I didn't dare ask him if the smell was coming from him because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. But to heck with that. I will never hold back again. For the record, I was not on my period when this happened, and I even saw the guy smelling himself to see if it was him. When he found the garbage can, I politely reminded him that he had just asked me if I was on the rag and had been smelling himself the entire time. He had also asked me if I farted, but I asked him the same thing in reply. Heavily commenting on appearance. Why are you wearing that makeup today? Someone's dressing up today. Are you going on a date or something? You look rough without makeup. Who are you dressing up for? It's frustrating. I'm wearing what I'm wearing to look pulled together. I don't need you to comment on it. Compliments are fine and dandy. I am not going to get all up in arms if someone says, I like your outfit or your hair looks nice, but specifically commenting on the fact that I look tired rough without makeup, or asking why I am specifically not wearing certain things, or repeatedly coming up to my desk to ask why I look like that day after day, will make me uncomfortable. Smile. Touching any part of my body other than the same firm handshake you give another man. It's a huge no to just hug me out of nowhere. It's really just my personal preference, but I do want to clear some things up. I'm not going to be nasty to someone for hugging me, but I do hate it if you aren't a close friend or relative, and I prefer that you don't. I'm in America, and I was basing this off of a corporate office environment. It's definitely going to differ from place to place and person to person. As a basic rule, I prefer to be treated with professionalism. I've had too many dangerous run-ins with honest guys to not take things very seriously, and I mean very dangerous. Like, threatened with a shotgun when I was 13 because I didn't want to go out with someone dangerous. For those of you who have seen my other comments and posts, 13 was a wild year for me. Many of you pointed out that context is key, and I totally agree with that. Also, totally not on board with women harassing men in the workplace. It should be a universal standard to treat everyone with common decency. Stop touching my ponytail hair bun. Bald guy here. Hate it when people assume it's okay to rub my head just because it feels weird. Asking me if I have a boyfriend. Touching me when it isn't a handshake. Calling me by any pet names when I literally don't know them. Commenting on my appearance, etc. I used to work at a restaurant, and these were the things that happened most frequently. There was one older cook who would wink at me anytime I asked for anything, clearly stare at my boss when I walked by, and comment on my uniform and how it made me look. There was another guy who was alarmingly close to the line of sexual harassment who would tickle me, lock me in the walk-in freezer with him, hold my hand, whisper in my ear, and ask me to go out with him almost every shift. I also went back to work at the same restaurant after being off for a year, during which I lost quite a bit of weight, and all of the men I worked with felt entitled to tell me how good I looked and how much hotter I was. Any guy who thinks about doing any of the above, please freaking don't. It doesn't make me like you, it just makes me want to quit. That was sexual harassment. Absolutely. Asking me to smile more. Asking why I wore black all the time. Because I'm not a Stepford wife. Because I work in a machine shop and black doesn't show stains as much. In my job we call each other by our rank and last name in emails. Just keeps things formal and straight to the point. Until certain people decide it's appropriate to disregard my rank and name and call me by my first name, and reference every other male in the email by their appropriate rank and name. Don't diss my accomplishments just because I am female, and you're trying to be friendly. Cornering you into a conversation when you are clearly trying to get something done. Just let me have my personal space. Don't lean on my desk when you talk to me. Don't keep walking toward me if I take a step back when we're both standing. Don't talk to me when I'm on my way into the bathroom. Honestly, this stuff isn't gendered, but it definitely seems to happen more with guys. I hate it when the guy walks in the bathroom and keeps talking to me at the urinal. You have been spotted by the rare flying floofer. If you comment good boy below, he don't steal your hot dogs anymore. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.